Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling something that we all encounter, and let's be honest, probably resent every single day we're online, the dreaded cookie banner.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. That annoying pop-up that gets in the way of everything. And the common thinking is, it's just some over-the-top EU regulation. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real reason that banner exists isn't what we think at all? I mean, what if I told you that for most websites, that banner isn't legally required? That's what we're diving into today, this pervasive myth of mandatory consent. We're actually going to follow the journey of discovery from a source post that started with this exact same frustration. The author thought the rules were just way too strict, but they ended up in a completely different place. So let's dive in and see how that happened. Okay, so this whole investigation began with a really simple theory. Basically, a three-step path that could let a website get rid of that banner for good. And on the surface, this looks like a pretty solid plan, right? If these three things are true, problem solved. But as we're about to see, when you put this theory under a legal microscope, the details matter. A lot. So let's put this theory to the test. Let's sharpen up these arguments and really fact-check each one of these claims. First up, the good news. The first point is absolutely correct. Cookies that are, and this is the key phrase, strictly necessary for the site to function, things like keeping items in your shopping cart or remembering you're logged in, they're exempt. No consent needed. So far, so good. But this is where the theory hits its first major snag. The initial idea was that as long as you anonymize the data, you're fine. But the law is more nuanced than that. The ePrivacy Directive regulates the act of storing anything on a user's device. So even if the cookie itself is anonymous, just placing it there requires consent. The real solution isn't just anonymous data. It's going completely cookieless by using server-side analytics, which tracks activity on the website's servers, not on your device. And the final piece of the theory crumbles here too. You can't just bury consent inside your terms of service. GDPR is crystal clear on this. Consent has to be a separate, specific, freely given choice. It needs to be an active opt-in, not something that's just assumed because someone clicked agree on a 50-page legal document.
So, after testing the theory, we've arrived at a refined, legally sound path. You can serve necessary cookies without asking, you can use cookieless analytics for anonymous visitors, and if you want to do more tracking on your logged-in users, you get a separate, explicit opt-in. So, a legal banner-free path definitely exists, but it requires making some very specific choices.
And that, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. One that should completely change how you see the web from this point on.
I mean, really think about it. If it's totally possible, legally, to avoid the banner, why is it on nearly every single site you visit? The answer isn't because companies are confused or because the law is too hard to follow.
The reality is much simpler, and frankly, much more intentional. It's a business decision. They use banners because they have made a deliberate commercial choice to get as much of your data as they can.
They choose to use powerful data-hungry marketing tools. Think about the Metapixel, the thing that makes ads for that product you just looked at follow you around the internet, or the full-power version of Google Analytics that tracks your every click. These specific tools legally require your consent, and that banner is the tool to get it. They want the data, so they need the banner.
And once you realize this, it changes everything. It's time to reconsider what that banner really means. So that banner isn't some legal shackle they're forced to wear. It's a signal. It's a direct message to you, the user. It's basically a declaration of that company's data strategy and the commercial choices it has made about how it wants to track you.
And that's the key takeaway. That banner isn't just legal noise. It's a clear signal about a company's priorities. It tells you a story about the choice they made about your data. And now you know how to read it.